What's good? It's your boy K.A.R. We live and direct, and you tune into another episode of Popparotz TV. Right now, we back uptown, the Bronx to be exact, South Bronx with it. Trash Star Trizzy in the building, K.A.R. in the building. What's good, brother?
Everything good. What's going on, bro?
Man, nothing much, man. Yo, man, you out here grinding, you out here working, you out here doing your thing. First of all, you can rhyme your butt off.
Appreciate you, man.
And we respect talent or what have you. And we've been going back and forth with your management for a little bit or whatever. So you know what I mean. It's an honor to have you up here, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the reach out. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that.
So you know, as far as like the Bronx, man, you know, it's a lot of dope talent up in the Bronx. It's talent in every single block. But you know, you got a voice that stands out above everybody else. Like when people hear you rhyme, they believe you. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain level of authenticity. So we're gonna get into the origin behind that. So, you know, what's the inspiration behind you even wanting to get involved and even do music to begin with?
So actually, you know what I'm saying, I've been around some music influences my whole life, like a long time in the streets, just, you know, by happenstance. I guess that's the way the journey was set up.
Copy.
But it was a song I heard. I used to be with this independent group back in the days. I don't really talk to a lot of the dudes no more. But I felt like music was an outlet, right? So, you know what I'm saying, I was a little different because I didn't come outside in the projects. I came outside up the block from the projects. I made my way up the block and then became somebody in the project. So I always had a separate story to tell than everybody that was around me. My father was a cop. My mother lived in my house with my father. I had both parents in the household. None of my friends did. You understand what I'm saying? So it was like I had friends that connected through music. And on an independent level, these wasn't even songs that was on radio, and they was giving me chills. So when I was told, like, yo, you could do the same thing, you just gotta learn how to flow it and match it, I did. And that was the initiation of me getting into it. It was just an outlet to express myself as far as I was a little different, and I always knew I was a little different. Because I was hanging with a crowd that didn't come from the same block I came from. Same neighborhood, different blocks. They was looked at me from the projects. I was looked at me from the side block.
I understand.
So it was always a piece of the story inside of me that was never really told, because when you see me with this circle of people, you just think I got the same background as them as soon as you see me. So it was like, you know, a little difference.
That's unique. And you know, that's unique in many different ways because it's, you know, first of all, you know, you being upfront and forthcoming about your background or what have you, you know what I'm trying to say, and the fact that, you know, you can, you know, similar story but it's a different story at the same time, and it's kind of like, it's unique because it's kind of like, you know, it's the parallel of we all come from the same surroundings, but you know, we all got, we were just talking about, we all got different journeys and different stories to tell.
Before the
And
interview,
say that again.
I said to you, sometimes we be in different lanes, we be on different journeys in the same lane. You understand what I'm saying? So we headed in the same direction, but our journeys veer off at certain crossroads. I gotta go this way and leave you, but we all in the same lane. So sometimes we get side by side, sometimes there's somebody ahead of you, sometimes you gotta play it back. As long as you don't stop, you still get to the destination.
Jason, you know, that's the so let's get into the next question, the hustle, the grind.
So it's kind of funny, right? Because you probably like, yo, I just kind of heard of you. So I've been rapping for a long time. I've been rapping for over 20 years, right? But I did 9.5 years in jail, right? So I did from 17 to 25. I did 8 years, right? And then in 2017, I went on the run for 2 attempt murders. And I sat up and did 17 months and 18 days total. You know what I'm saying? Fighting that case, finishing my parole time and getting home. You know what I'm saying? I got over that case. So I came home. So the grind with the music is crazy, right? So I was around some big people back in the day, and then I disappeared for the 8. When I came home, I founded a relationship with Fred the Godson. Right? Him and Papers, Lil Kimbe Farmer, they cool with my circles, you heard. So I got introduced to them through the day ones. I got a track with Fred called Respect the Shooter. It's up, but it never really got too much promotion on it. But Fred became my brother. I came home, I did 8, And I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought because I rap, I thought because I was nice, you heard? I thought it was going to be like, boom, pitfall after pitfall. And, you know, the truth of life is when you grinding in music, the thing about it is you surround yourself with people that's probably 1 step ahead of you, or some people that's 10 steps ahead of you.
So not to cut you off, can you say that Fred is the first one that really broke down the music business to you?
I love Fred. Rest in peace. I love Fred's soul. God bless Fred's soul. Right? Fred the Godson gave me studios for free. I got relationships with certain people. Rilers, shout out to Rilers. I got relationships with certain individuals through Fred. I used to tell Fred, yo, I ain't got it right now, but I need to make this song, right? I remember both my rest in peace, Taquan and Paige. There was a double homicide on my block on 5-9 and Park some years back.
Okay.
So when they got killed, you know what I'm saying? I needed to make a song for the services, and I ain't had no money to go to the studio. Fred gave me his whole studio. It's like I'm going out of town. You can have it the whole weekend, engineer and all that included. Don't worry about it.
Stand-up guy.
No dollars, no money, no nothing. I'd be in the studio all night. Fred come back in, and it was love. You know what I'm saying? But he used to try to keep me out the streets, and I went back into the streets. You know what I'm saying? Back then, my mind frame was like, I was going around, and you gotta look at me. I'm going to little Kim baby shower, you heard, and then going right back to the trenches.
One foot in, one foot out.
So when I'm coming, and then I just came home from doing 8. You know what I'm saying? So technically my brain's still like 17 years old. Like, not my brain, I educated myself and I grew, but my physical experiences, the shit that still brought me enjoyment, was 17 years old.
Now break that down to people who never been through that, how you could do, 8 years or what have you, but,
So
you know what I'm trying to say. You 25 years old when you get out, but you still, in certain aspects have the mindset of someone at 17, 18.
You ever heard that saying that you really only do 2 days in jail, the day you go in and the day you get out?
Yeah, fact.
So if you, did I do 9.5 years? Did I do 8 years straight? Yes, totally. Do it feel like I did it when they opened that cell and let me out? Nah, probably 5, probably 6. When you sit down and think about the pain, the moments, the emotions, the shit you went through, then you like, oh, I know I did that shit. But in the moment in time, that's why I said time is everything and nothing, so we got to take advantage of it. Because the time you think you got, you really don't got. And the time you think you don't have, you end up having. So the time is complex. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a double-edged sword.
I understand what you're saying.
Kind of. So what happened was, I educated myself. I know law, I know everything, right? Not everything, I know a lot. But what I didn't educate myself on was what was the next step when I got out. So I had this library of information in my head. You heard, I went, I studied, I did this, did that. But now, who's going to teach me how to be me when I get back out here? Because the only thing I knew out here was from till I was 17 years old. So you figure I came out the house early. But I started running the streets 10, 11, go to jail 17. That's only 7 years in the streets. I do 8 years straight. I got more time in jail than I got in the streets. You understand what I'm saying?
I get that what you're saying.
I physically know how to adapt and move around prison more than I knew more, but they don't.
In real life, yeah.
But nobody points that out to you. You know what I'm saying? Nobody tells you it's going to be like that. So I came home, I had niggas, Fred, the guard, reached out, used to always, yo, what you doing? Yo, come back in the studio. I stopped, you know what I'm saying? It was different for me because it's like they tell you can't play catch up. When you get out, you don't really want to play catch up. You know what I'm saying? You kind of just want to live your life, but what's living your life? So you set that to something. This nigga winning, he's winning music. I gotta get in, I gotta find my lane. The crazy shit about life, right, is that you could be the right person for something, it just won't be the right time for you.
That's real.
So when I came home, I learned that lesson 10 times over, you heard? Boom! And I was almost going for a decade, so I came back trying to find my lane, but I never stopped music. When I ain't had no studio, when I couldn't do this, when I couldn't do that, I never had it. So yes, I came home, thought I knew what I was doing, ended up realizing that I had once and shit that I was, missed. Like I missed being on the block when I went to jail. The block wasn't nothing. I came home, same niggas still hustling, you heard. Some niggas declined, some niggas came up, but it was the same thing, just shit. Different names, same corners. I missed that, bro, because that was all I knew before I went to jail. All I knew was being on the block singing. I was a young legendary nigga too, by the way. So all I knew was this. So when I went to jail, and at a certain point in time in my bed, I think like 5 years in, I lost all contact to anybody I knew in the streets. So my last 3 years of my bid, I did on straight gang time. Like I wasn't even talking to nobody. If I ain't know you from jail, I ain't contact you. I ain't had no access. So I came there and I'm like, you run. You basically, you got to get it right. Whether you got to remember is I'm glad you asked this question, right? And I'm gonna close this question off so we get to the next one.
Okay.
But a lot of people think that they not in jail because they not in prison.
That's heavy.
You got some people in the streets that's still stuck at the same age they was 8 years ago. Because they wake up and put themselves in the prisons,
That's heavy. That's real deep. That's real deep. You just, like, talking to you, you just remind me of somebody just now or whatever. I ain't gonna.
I'm pretty sure everybody in their room just had an aha moment.
That's why I stopped for a second, because it's somebody particular that's popped in my head.
I know people. Some of our parents locked themselves in prison and raised us.
That's a fact.
You got some people that voluntary do it. You got some people that involuntary do it. They don't even realize it. All you got to do is lock yourself into the wrong schedule when you're in a prison. Prison ran on a schedule.
That's a little.
So you got to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts, man. That's, that's heavy, man. And it's kind of like, we about to go into the music part right now. But before we go into the music part, what do you say to another 17-year-old that's going through the same thing you going through or whatever, and that you trying to, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so briefly, right, just to explain this to you, right, we'll get into that later, I'm sure, but, so I was innocent when I did my 8 years in jail. So I got locked up for a robbery in the first degree, right, my charge was robbery in the first degree, displaying what appears to be a firearm. No injury report, no gun. So they never found the gun. Kid never got hurt. Now, the truth of the story is this, right, my co-defendant was legendary. Rest in peace, Hood, Courtney, you heard? But, I'm from that era, 04, 05, 03, niggas was getting dug in their pockets. My co-defendant took a weed man was walking by in the hood, and he stopped son and walked off with him. Right? I didn't know at the time, but my co-D dug in his pockets and took $100. Like, not that I would have gave a fuck at the time. Nobody would have really cared. It's like, fight if you don't let somebody take something. So the kid came back to me. He had his gay uncle with him. You know what I'm saying? Who was like some dude that used to work in the store. I didn't talk to him or his uncle. So when he tried to talk to me, I told son, get away from me. Now, we was the niggas that had the hood and locked. So when I did that, his mind was already bent on telling on him. So he said, if I tell on him, he's gonna do something to me. So he went to the precinct and told the cops, yo, Trav and Hood robbed me. Trav backed the gun out. My father was a cop. I was already running the streets. Every precinct in the Bronx felt like I was disrespecting my father's badge. So as soon as they heard my name, they came and grabbed me. So I went to jail, check it, right? It was $100 I did 8 years for in jail, you heard?
Damn.
He pickpocketed me for $100. So technically I should have went to jail I shouldn't even have went to jail because I wasn't part of the robbery. But if they was, I should have went to jail for like a lesser robbery 3, petty larceny, shit like that. But because my father was a cop, I went to trial and I blew trial. The whole hood knew I was innocent, everybody. And
made an example out of you.
They made an example out of me, a system, you heard? Getting back on the pill. Now, this is what I want to tell the 17-year-olds, right? So when I caught that case, I was 16. Everybody told me, yo, you ain't do it, you innocent, you gonna go home, don't worry about it. My father was a cop for almost 20 years with the police, with the Bronx, you heard? I went to trial, and they was talking all those numbers over my head, 330, 180, come back, yo, this. And I blew trial, innocent. I was having a kid, you heard, at the time, and I was 17, and I blew. I was facing 5 to 25. So the first thing I'm gonna say to anybody that's younger coming up, if you wanna do anything in the streets, educate yourself, because the system is designed to
fuck you over.
Look, you can't go to college to study law until you're 18. You can't take the bar exam until you got, in New York State, till you got 3 years of college under your record. So you have to be 21 years old before you can even entertain the thought of legally becoming a lawyer. Most of us is catching cases when we're 15, 16 years 17, old. The sight of learning about the same laws that trap us in ain't even nowhere in our eyesight, right? 5 years away. By the time you doing that, you can't practice law no more because you got a felony. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is it's cool to take the gun. It's cool to learn your own lessons. It's cool to make your mistakes in the streets. It's cool to fight. It's cool to go do this because we in an environment where we're gonna experiment with this. But what's cooler than that is educating yourself on what you're doing before you do it. You know? So my message would be, don't do nothing without an education. And if somebody say something to you and you unsure whether or not they got the right intentions for you, question that. what I'm saying? Like, so my advice would just be stay focused on, if you got a dream, never let it, never, I don't care where you at, never let it go. Don't let no setback. I was just facing 50 years, man. We gonna get to that in the interview, but my thing to the 17-year-old me, you heard, the only thing that I would have did different, if I could turn around, I would have did everything the same, but I would have stayed in school to still give myself that teenage kid experience.
Better understand.
I just wanted to be older. Took myself out.
So let's get into the K.A.R. situation and how did that situation come about.
So shout out Miami, man. Shout out to Miami. You know what I'm saying? That's my manager, you heard. Miami, I knew Miami for forever. Miami, one of the OGs for my block. They broke for my block, you heard. So a couple years back, funny, probably like when I came home from the 8, around the time I was dealing with Fred and them, me, Miami, and us was running around with the Wise Guys movement, you heard? And when Miami was heavy with K.A.R, rest in peace, and all like that. And so, but, you know, it don't be the right time, bro. It don't be the season. You could be ready, you could have whatever. It just don't be the right time. The cars ain't aligned right. And then I ended up going on the run, going back. So, honestly, I thought it was over. You heard? At one point in time, you heard? I told everybody that by the end of this year, if I didn't make any type of progress in music, because I've been rapping for so long, I was going to quit. So Miami came to me, called me one morning, he spoke, and I told him, I'm like, yo, you might as well manage me, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got the platform, you got it. He was like, yo, you know what's crazy? I was just thinking about reaching back to you. He like, because we were supposed to been do it, and I feel like the time is now. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I bet. So I didn't really know Pistol at first, but Pistol's affiliated with my block. Like, I've been associated with K.A.R since rest in peace Tito Cruz came home from the Feds. You know what I'm saying? So K.A.R, the whole Terror Squad shit. I used to run around with Charlie Rock. There's some people been around some people for a while, but Miami reached out, legends. And Miami's K.A.R, Miami's K.A.R, Miami's one of the faces. When you talk about K.A.R, you talk about Pistol, you talk about Miami. So off the rip, if we locked in, you already my day one. You already, bro. Then we locked in. What we doing? We doing K.A.R. That's the brand we doing. I bet. So you gonna push me? I'm gonna push the brand. You heard? And still gonna sharpen still. We gonna take this shit through the roof and we gonna run.
Yes, sir.
He we went to Aviani Jula event, right? And I had met Pete, and I went down and did the Dog in the Yard interview with Pete, but Pete ain't know I rapped yet. Never heard me rap. And when he heard me rap, he looked at me in the car. It was like, yo, right? Yo, we're gonna have a superstar in the car.
That's all she wrote.
So Miami left that day, and the song Click Clap that we dropped, that was the song everybody got introduced to me on. You heard? Shout out to Superstar Floors, you heard? That was Superstar Floors and Rob Cash on that song, you heard? So Pete, that song was done already. I ain't been in the studio in 2 years. Pistol heard me and he like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to holler at Floors and ask Floors what he think about opening the track and putting you on it, you heard? So this is the track that my platform open from there, you heard?
Copy.
So Pete like, yo, look, right, keep it 100. I'm gonna give you 8 bars on the track, you heard? You gonna have an 8-bar placement on it. I hope you walk on it, bro, because if you walk on it, it's up from here. That shit hit Hot 97, 105.1, Shade 45, and that shit stayed this. That was all she wrote. It's been all she wrote. So shout out to Pistol, shout out to Miami.
Definitely shout out to Pistol Pete. Shout out to everybody in the whole movement that been representing for years. Let's get into the current music.
Okay.
The single that just dropped, and if it's the project associated with that single,
all right,
what have you.
Yeah. So basically, as far as when it come to me, pretty much the only thing, if you don't find nothing old, it's like you're just running the Click Clack, Bronx, New York, which we dropped featuring Fat Joe, and then the single Free.
And shout out to Side Money also.
Side Money. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the whole K.A.R, K.A.R boys, CO, Animal Click, J1 Music. This is the production team. CO's a part of the management team. Shout out to Side Money. Shout out to Superstar Floors, you heard. So we here, we moving. There's a lot of development, there's a lot of stuff going. But Free. That's my first single, period. Right? It's my first single, period. So it was a toss-up. I got a lot of bombs, and it was like, yo, what did we really gonna do. So J1 produced Free. J1 is he did the soundtrack for Queen and Slim. He did the Bronx, New York.
Copy.
He's on Lobby Boys. You know what I'm saying? He got the credentials. That's him in the Animal Clip. So when I first heard the beat, I called Miami and was like, yo, don't let nobody else get this beat. I want this beat. Free. Now, free is it's a statement, right? Because you could be free and not free, like the discussion we just had. You got people out here that's in prisons. So I feel like, right, when I came home, I have a name, but so when you got a name, you under a microscope, right?
Fact.
So if everybody else eating and you not eating, then they talking about you. You heard? Know what I'm saying? So the thing about in the life we live, right, a reputation is everything. You heard? So when people think you fall off, I went to jail, came home, I was alright, went back to jail, came home again, let's see what he gonna do. You heard? I ain't gonna lie, before the music took off, I was down bad for a second. You heard? Know what I'm saying? I was down bad for a second. I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. This was the only thing that was left. It took off. So Free is the embodiment of the losses, the wins. It's been a lot of talk. I started rapping. You had everybody asking questions. Yo, what's up with them K.A.R niggas? They got that trap kid. Yo, what's up with them? So, like when I said in the song, yo, I'm from a, like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm different from all of you niggas rapping. I'm from an era with no cameras. Like you had to have it on you. You had to come outside. Like I'm from the skate key and I'm from an era where if they knew you, you was making your rounds in the streets.
Facts.
And they've known me since 2004, 2003, 2005. So it's like I wanted to make a statement where everybody understood it was a difference between who I am and who you are.
Authenticity.
So you have people that it's like you got a dude that run a block. Congratulations, right? You ran one as kids, but then I'm the nigga that ran the blocks that every nigga that ran a block was on. So it's no competition. Free was a statement to let everybody know I'ma stay in my lane and stay in yours. It'll never be competition between me and another rapper because they can't market what I can market. Their life ain't as real as mine. You know what I'm saying? They ain't really run C block, A block, and Auburn. They wasn't really here. They ain't really have race rides. They ain't go through it. So my lane with me, I'm just embellishing my life. You heard?
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
So Free is as far as the project, yeah. I believe that I speak on it that we not really gonna do the mixtape. That we gonna skip and go to EP. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a bypass the mixtape.
So when you got an idea when you gonna drop the EP?
No specific date, man, but no specific date, but a lot of surprises. You know what I'm saying? A lot of drops. From here on is consistency for me. You know what I'm saying? The first drop came out. From here, it's letting everybody know that it's feet all on everybody's neck. They fucked up. They let me get in the spot to take the city.
And now you gonna run with it.
They let me get in the spot to take the city. You know what I'm saying?
So now, without further ado, before we go, introduce this video, who directed it, we already know who produced it, and tell everybody where to find the video at or what have you, and if you selling merch, anything or what have you, you go ahead and let everybody know that right now.
All right, copy. So the video that we about to drop is called Free, produced by J1. It was shot by Logic Hill Productions.
Dope video, by the way.
Executively directed by Miami. And it's me, Trap Star Trizzy, right? This is my song, man. This is my first song to the world. I dropped it on Christmas. I missed a lot of Christmases. So I figure I'd get a gift that God gave me to the world on Christmas, you heard? And me and my team put that together. As far as the merch, we got the... Yeah, take this down.
Like spring.
Take this down. So this was actually the first prototype of merch that we dropped, and we moved with.
I like the jacket.
We got Stove Hot merch dropping. We got some more dropping. That spring, man. My turn, Stove Hot. It's a lot more merch dropping right now, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to the niggas that been rocking with me from the beginning and rocking with K.A.R. Shout out to Rose Doe, you heard? First of all, shout out to the label. Shout out to Killer Rats. Shout out to Terror Squad. Shout out to We The Best, you heard? Now, shout out to everybody else on the side of that. My team, Miami, Floss, Saab, Pistol. Shout out Rose Doe, Trillionaire Dreams. Elijah Hill, your work on Bronx, New York. Your work on Free. Incredible, you heard? Tap in. This is management. Holla at him, Animal Click on the gram. Holla at me, Trap Out 59 on the gram. Trap Star Trizzy on TikTok, Trap Star Trizzy on Facebook. I got a YouTube. It only got the instrumental on it right now, but Trap Star Trizzy, tap in
everywhere.
subscribe to official K.A.R boys. We got a lot of shows coming up. We got a lot of bookings coming up. In about a week or 2 weeks, we got a big feature dropping, man. We about to put on for New York. So just tap in, tune in.
Tap in, tune in. Y'all know what it is, man. Trap Star Trizzy in the building. K.A.R in the building. The Bronx is in the building.
And 1 second before we end, shout out to y'all.
Salute.
Appreciate Popparotz. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all for the platform, man. For taking your time to bring me up.
Nah, we appreciate you for coming here, man. And you know, when that project come out, man, make sure you come back in, man. We gonna go ahead and keep it pushing, and we gonna promote this Bronx thing. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you, man. Big Bronx, man.
Big Bronx all day, brother.
Big Bronx, let's bring us home, man.
Yes, sir. Y'all already know what it is. Popparotz TV. We out.